Tango in the dark, a nation's struggle. The scent of grilling meat hangs heavy in the air. A haze of smoke drifts across the street. The rhythm of tango music spills out from a dimly lit bar. This is Buenos Aires, a city that pulsates with life, passion, and a fierce determination to survive. But behind the vibrant facade, a deep economic crisis has cast a long shadow over Argentina. Years of borrowing have left the country drowning in debt. The weight of this burden falls heavily on the shoulders of everyday Argentines. The streets tell the story. Once bustling shops stand empty. Lines snake around banks as people desperately try to access their savings. The peso, Argentina's currency, has plummeted in value. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, has stepped in with a bailout package. But the terms are harsh, requiring deep cuts to social programs and government spending. The people of Argentina are caught in the middle, struggling to make ends meet. The story of Argentina is not just about numbers on a balance sheet. It's about the human cost of economic turmoil. It's about the resilience of a people determined to find a way out of the darkness. The weight of debt, a tangled web. Argentina's debt crisis is not a recent phenomenon. It's the culmination of decades of economic mismanagement, political instability, and exposure to volatile global markets. To understand the depth of the crisis, we need to unravel this tangled web. Imagine a giant scale. On one side, we pile up all of Argentina's debts. On the other side, we put all the goods and services the country produces. The scale is tipped precariously, with debt far outweighing production. This imbalance creates a vicious cycle. Argentina is forced to borrow more money just to pay off its existing debts. This leaves less money for essential services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. The situation is further complicated by external factors. Fluctuations in global commodity prices, currency devaluations, and rising interest rates all take their toll. When the global economy sneezes, Argentina catches a cold. This vulnerability is compounded by a history of corruption and policy missteps. From reckless borrowing to unsustainable social programs, short-term gains have often come at the expense of long-term stability. The result is a perfect storm of economic hardship. Beyond austerity seeds of hope. The IMF's traditional prescription for countries like Argentina is austerity. Cut government spending, raise interest rates, and tighten your belt. The theory is that these measures will restore confidence in the economy and attract foreign investment. But for many Argentines, austerity feels like a bitter pill to swallow. Maria, austerity only deepens the pain, says Maria, a community organizer in a working-class neighborhood in Buenos Aires. It's the people who are already struggling who end up bearing the brunt of these policies. Maria's organization runs a soup kitchen and provides job training for unemployed youth. She believes that the key to Argentina's recovery lies not in cutting social programs, but in investing in its people. Maria, we need to create an economy that works for everyone, not just for the wealthy few, Maria explains. That means investing in education, healthcare, and creating decent jobs. The IMF Tango, a controversial dance. The IMF's role in Argentina's economic crisis is a subject of intense debate. Supporters argue that the IMF is a lender of last resort, providing a vital lifeline to countries facing financial turmoil. They point to the fact that the IMF has provided billions of dollars in loans to Argentina, helping to avert a complete economic collapse. Critics, however, argue that the IMF's policies often do more harm than good. They contend that the IMF's austerity measures disproportionately impact the poor and vulnerable, exacerbating inequality and social unrest. The IMF is like a doctor who keeps prescribing the same medicine, even though it's clearly not working, says Juan, an economist at a Buenos Aires university. Austerity has been tried and tested in Argentina, and it has failed time and time again. Juan believes that the IMF needs to fundamentally rethink its approach to debt crises. Echoes of crisis. Lessons unlearned. Argentina's experience is not unique. From Greece to Ecuador, countries around the world have found themselves trapped in a cycle of debt and austerity. These crises often follow a similar pattern: excessive borrowing, economic shocks, IMF intervention, and painful austerity measures. It's like watching the same movie over and over again, only with different actors, says Sophia, an activist who has worked on debt relief campaigns in several countries. The IMF keeps making the same mistakes, and the people are the ones who pay the price. Sofia believes that the international community needs to learn from Argentina's experience and find a more just and sustainable path forward. She argues that debt relief is essential for countries struggling under the weight of unsustainable debt burdens. She also believes that the global financial system needs to be reformed to prevent future crises. A new beat, finding Argentina's rhythm. Despite the challenges, there is a sense of resilience in the air in Argentina. People are finding creative ways to cope with the crisis and build a better future. From community gardens to worker-owned cooperatives, grassroots initiatives are sprouting up across the country. In a bustling neighborhood in Buenos Aires, a group of women have come together to form a worker-owned textile cooperative. They produce high-quality clothing and accessories, selling their products directly to consumers online and at local markets. The cooperative provides its members with a fair wage, flexible working hours, and a sense of ownership over their work. "We're not just sewing clothes, we're sewing together a new future," says Carmen, one of the cooperative's founders. The cooperative is just one example of the innovative solutions that are emerging from the grassroots in Argentina. The people's economy, voices from the ground. The stories of Maria, Juan, Sofia, and Carmen are just a few examples of the resilience and creativity of the Argentine people. Across the country, people are coming together to support each other and find innovative solutions to the economic crisis. In working-class neighborhoods, community kitchens have sprung up to provide meals for those who can no longer afford to put food on the table. Barter networks have emerged as people trade goods and services without using money. Artists and musicians are using their talents to raise awareness about the crisis and inspire hope. These grassroots initiatives are not just about meeting immediate needs, they're about building a new kind of economy. An economy that is rooted in community, solidarity, and sustainability. An economy that puts people and planet before profit. The Argentine people are showing the world that another world is possible. A global tango, shared struggles, common goals. Argentina's struggle is not an isolated incident. It is a symptom of a global economic system that is rigged against the many and in favor of the few. A system that prioritizes short-term profits over long-term sustainability. A system that concentrates wealth and power in the hands of a global elite. From the streets of Athens to the favelas of Rio de Janeiro, people around the world are rising up to challenge this unjust system. They are demanding a new economic paradigm. One that is based on fairness, justice, and ecological sustainability. One that recognizes the interconnectedness of all living things. The fight for a just global economy is a global tango. It is a dance of resistance and resilience. A dance of hope and determination. Beyond the bottom line, redefining success. The current economic model measures success solely in terms of economic growth. Gross domestic product, or GDP, has become the holy grail of economic policy. But GDP is a flawed measure. It fails to account for the social and environmental costs of economic activity. It tells us nothing about the well-being of people or the health of the planet. We need to move beyond the bottom line and redefine what it means to be successful. We need to create an economy that values people, planet, and prosperity in equal measure. An economy that is regenerative by design. This means investing in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and green infrastructure. It means promoting education, healthcare, and social justice. It means creating an economy that works for everyone, not just the privileged few. A call to action, joining the dance. The challenges facing Argentina and the world are daunting, but they are not insurmountable. Another world is possible. But we must act now to create it. Here are 3 things you can do to join the dance for a more just and sustainable world. 1. Educate yourself. Learn about the root causes of global inequality and the impacts of the current economic system. 2. Support grassroots movements. Donate to or volunteer with organizations that are working to create a more just and sustainable world. 3. Hold leaders accountable. A new dawn, hope on the horizon. The tango is a dance of passion, intimacy, and connection. It is a dance that embodies both the joys and sorrows of life. Argentina's tango with the IMF has been a painful one. But even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. The Argentine people are showing the world that another way is possible. They are demonstrating the power of resilience, creativity, and collective action. They are reminding us that we are not alone in this struggle. Together, we can create a new dawn for Argentina and the world. Argentina's tango with the IMF is far from over, but its struggles offer valuable insights for the entire world. It's a reminder that true economic progress must be sustainable, inclusive, and respectful of national sovereignty. Let's learn from Argentina's story and work together to create a more just and equitable global economy. Share your thoughts on Argentina's journey and the future of the global financial system. Let's continue the conversation in the comments.